Hey, so this is Dishant from Unica University Common Application. I recommend you to watch AAU television.
AAU TV is the place to be for every person in higher education in Africa. Better be there or be nowhere.
Continuez de regarder la télé et surtout sur le AAU.
Keep watching it and it will change the way you interact with higher education on the continent. AAU, great job.
I want to tell you that AAU television is fantastic, it's educative, it's informative, and it is a must for anybody who is interested in higher education in Africa.
When I was in Accra last year, I did an interview on this TV. It's a very important mouthpiece.
It's a data, it's a bank of all we need for the development of higher education in Africa.
People should make an effort to view it because it discusses very current issues of development across the continent.
I believe that the station will continue to promote the overall development of Africa, particularly in the tertiary education sector.
AAU TV provides a platform and shares a lot of information to a broader audience. So we wish you all the best and please continue serving
AAU TV,
the voice of higher education in Africa.
Good afternoon, it's 12 o'clock and thank you for tuning in to the AAU TV Mid-Week News coming to you from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities. My name is Maame Otuakoa. Nyame, and now straight to our top stories. Kenya National Union of Teachers call for teacher policy overhaul. In health, fast-spreading cholera outbreak hits war-torn Sudan. In sports, Jordan, are you confident as Black Stars lead Group 1 in World Cup qualifiers? In international, tensions rise as Israel blocked Gaza-bound aid boats with Greta Thunberg on board. Please stay with us for the news in detail. After the short break, we'll be right back. Now, the Kenyan National Union of Teachers is calling on the government to overhaul the current teachers' recruitment policy and raise the retirement age for educators. The union argues that academic advancement, not secondary school grades, should be the main consideration for hiring teachers. They also say experienced teachers should be allowed to remain in service longer to help mentor younger colleagues, especially amid a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Kenya National Union of Teachers, NAT, is urging the Government and Teachers Service Commission to rethink how teachers are hired and how long they can serve. NAT Secretary General Collins O says current recruitment rules unfairly exclude highly qualified candidates who may not have performed well in their secondary school exams but have since earned advanced degrees. He urges that a teacher's final academic qualification should matter more than their Kenyan certificate of secondary education result. The union is also pushing for changes to the mandatory retirement age, proposing that experienced teachers nearing 60 should be allowed to stay on and mentor younger colleagues, especially in the rural schools facing severe teacher shortages. Currently, teachers are managing classrooms of over 100 students, more than double the recommended student-to-teacher ratio. NAT is now appealing to President William Ruto to support reforms that would both strengthen the teaching workforce and improve learning outcomes for students across the country.
Meanwhile, the government has announced plans to construct hostels worth 1.2 billion Kenyan shillings in Machakos town to house 2,500 students from various higher learning institutions. The initiative aims to improve safety, security, and affordability for students living in the area. Meanwhile, local leaders have also raised funds to support women entrepreneurs in line with the government's bottom-up economic transformation agenda.
In a major boost for higher education in Machakos, the government will spend 1.2 billion shilling to build new hostels to accommodate 2,500 university and college students in Machakos town. Deputy President Professor Huithu Kindiki says the new facilities, part of a planned university village, will help ensure student safety and reduce the high cost of private housing. The housing unit will serve students from Machakos University, Scots Christian University, and the Kenya Medical Training College. An additional 600 units are planned for Machakos Teachers College. During the same event, hundreds of local women entrepreneurs received a financial boost from a fundraiser led by several national and county leaders. The contributions made from the leaders' personal salaries are part of efforts to support small businesses and advance the government's bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Deputy President Kindiki was joined by a host of lawmakers and local leaders who emphasized that the donations were voluntary and not from the government funds. This initiative aims to uplift local communities while improving living standards for students and families across Machakos County.
Now in health, Sudan is facing a fast-growing cholera outbreak with more than 1,000 new cases reported daily in the capital, Khartoum. The crisis is fueled by a lack of clean water and collapsed sanitation systems in the aftermath of the country's civil war. Health workers warn that the disease could spread rapidly among displaced communities as the health system struggles to cope.
Sudan is battling a devastating cholera outbreak with more than 1,000 new cases reported every day in the war-torn capital of Khartoum. The outbreak comes as thousands of Sudanese return to their homes after months of civil conflict, only to face severe water shortages and damaged sanitation systems. Many residents now rely on contaminated water, fueling the spread of the disease. According to Medicine Sans Frontiers, Khartoum is seeing a dangerous spike in cholera cases, with neighboring Omdurman and several provinces also affected. The civil war has devastated the country since April last year. Over 14 million people have been displaced, and more than 80% of hospitals are now out of service. Health workers say crowded displacement centers make it harder to isolate infected individuals, increasing the risk of further spread. Cholera, often called the disease of poverty, is easily treatable but can be deadly if left untreated. The World Health Organization warns that the global vaccine stocks are now dangerously low as cholera outbreaks surge worldwide. Sudan's fragile healthcare system is struggling to respond as the country faces overlapping crises of war, hunger, and disease.
Please stick with us for news in Discovery after this short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back from the break, and now in our Discovery News. Sulphur Energy, a Nigerian clean water startup founded and led by women, has raised $1.3 million in funding from impact investment firm called All One. The investment will help expand Sulphur's solar system assembly operations and increase access to affordable off-grid electricity for underserved communities across Nigeria.
Sulphur Energy, founded and operated by women, has secured $1.3 million from All On, an impact investor supported by Shell. The funds will help Sulphur grow its local solar assembly activities and bring affordable off-grid electricity to underdeserved Nigerian communities. Sulphur is one of the few female-led companies in sub-Saharan Africa that runs its own solar home system assembly facility. This gives the company better control over product quality and design while also creating local jobs. With the new investment, Sulphur plans to broaden its range of solar solutions, which already serve more than 2 million people, and further scale its domestic manufacturing capabilities. All On CEO Caroline Ebumbo highlighted that structuring the investment in local currency will help Sulphur mitigate exchange rate risks that often challenge Nigeria's clean energy sector. Sulphur Energy's local assembly model, combined with a strong focus on gender inclusion and sustainability, sets it apart in a market where many players rely heavily on important systems. The company now looks set to scale its operations, driving both economic opportunity and energy access for more Nigerian households and small businesses.
Now in our sports news, Black Stars captain Jordan Ayew is optimistic about Ghana's chances of qualifying for the 2025 FIFA World Cup. Following dominant victories over Chad and Madagascar in March, Ghana now tops Group I with 15 points and 4 matches to go. Ayew says the team is focused on and determined to finish the job as they prepare for crucial September fixtures against Chad and Mali.
Black Stars captain Jordan Ayew is brimming with confidence as Ghana edges closer to a historic 5th World Cup appearance. The national team surged to the top of Group 1 in March, securing back-to-back victories, thrashing Chad 5-0 and cruising past Madagascar 3-0, giving fans renewed hope in Ghana's 2026 FIFA World Cup campaign. Speaking to the Ghana Football Association's media team after Ghana's 3rd place finish in the Unity Cup, Ayew praised the team's performance and growing momentum. Ayew emphasized that while the results are promising, the team must remain focused with 4 crucial games left to play. Ghana's journey resumes in September with a visit to Chad and a home clash with Mali on match days 7 and 8. Wins in these matches would bring the Black Stars within touching distance of qualification for the global showpiece, which will be co-hosted by the USA, Canada, and Mexico. With 15 points and determination to match, Ghana remains a strong contender on the road to 2026.
In entertainment, the 2025 edition of the Africa Travel Indaba has officially wrapped up, leaving a lasting impression on exhibitors, stakeholders, and attendees. Themed Unlimited Africa, this year's event fostered strong partnerships, promoted intra-African tourism, and exceeded expectations with impressive turnout of 9,900 participants.
The Africa Travel Indaba 2025 has come to a successful close, dazzling with excitement, opportunity, and Pan-African pride. Held from Tuesday, May 13th, this year's Indaba brought together over 2,500 tourism stakeholders from across the continent, all under the theme Unlimited Africa. The event provided an outstanding platform for exhibitors to showcase Africa's vibrant tourism potential, promote cross-border travel, and spark innovative business partnerships. Exhibitors were full of praise for the exposure and impact. Shili Singh, from South Africa, a vendor of spicy delicacies, describes the exposure as unmatched, connecting her to buyers across the continent. Meanwhile, Nigeria's Fatima Abdullahi shared her excitement over the surge of interest in her country's rich traditional cuisine, saying she met and even surpassed her target. At the closing ceremony, the Chief Marketing Officer of South African Tourism, Tembisile Selolo, celebrated the unity and collaboration fostered at this year's event. She emphasized the need for African countries to co-create a sustainable tourism ecosystem rather than compete. Selolo also called for greater investment in Africa's cultural heritage, describing it as the continent's true soft power. The event exceeded expectations with a turnout of 9,900, surpassing the projected 9,600. Selolo expressed hope that next year will see participation from all 50 African countries, making it a truly continental celebration.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
In business, Botswana is slashing its diamond production for 2025 by 16% as global demand for mined diamond continues to fall. The country's leading diamond company, Botswana, has announced temporary mine closures and a significant drop in output, triggering fears of economic slowdown for the diamond-reliant nation.
It's a hard rock reality for Botswana as the country slashes its 2025 diamond production by 16%, faced with tumbling global demand and stiff competition from lab-grown alternatives. Botswana, the country's biggest diamond producer and a joint venture with global mining giant De Beers, has reported a nearly 50% revenue loss over the past year. The company now plans to cut back output to just 15 million carats, marking a 40% drop from 2023 levels. The decision comes with a temporary shutdown of the Juanen and Urapa mines, two of the world's largest diamond operations, for a total of 3 months. Botswana says the move is aimed at saving costs in areas like fuel and electricity, as it continues to prudently navigate a volatile market environment. Botswana's economy is heavily reliant on diamonds, accounting for about 80% of export revenue and a quarter of its GDP. But with the ongoing downturn and new challenges like US imposed tariffs, the country is under pressure to diversify. President Mogwetsi Masisi is now urging that diamonds be cut and polished locally rather than exported raw to boost economic value and job creation. While Botswana has pledged not to carry out involuntary job cuts, it continues to offer voluntary redundancies to workers impacted by the closures. With diamond sales making up the bulk of Botswana's foreign exchange earnings, the economic outlook has dimmed. A senior finance official revealed that the 2025 growth forecast has now been cut to nearly zero.
And now on international front, Israel has warned it will take whatever means are necessary to stop the civilian aid boat, the Madeleine, from reaching Gaza. The vessel, part of the Freedom Flotilla coalition, includes activist Greta Thunberg among its 12-member crew and is carrying symbolic humanitarian aid. Israeli officials have cited national security concerns, while activists accuse Israel of threatening civilians and violating international protocols.
An escalating standoff is unfolding at sea as Israel vows to block a humanitarian aid boat currently en route to Gaza from breaching its long-standing maritime blockade. The vessel, named Madeleine, is sailing under the banner of the Freedom Flotilla coalition. On board are 12 international activists, including Swedish climate campaigner Greta Thunberg. The boat departed Sicily on Friday and is now roughly 160 nautical miles from the shores of Gaza. Israel's defense minister, Israel Katz, has issued a stern warning calling the boat a hate flotilla and accusing its crew of aiding Hamas propaganda. Katz instructed Israeli defense forces to stop the vessel, promising to take whatever measures are necessary. The Freedom Flotilla coalition, however, claims the vessel is unarmed, civilian operated and legally sailing in international waters. They accuse Israel of threatening unlawful violence and say the world is watching. This is not the first time such missions have ended in confrontation. In 2010, 10 activists were killed when Israeli commandos stormed the Mavi Marmara, another Gaza-bound flotilla. Israeli media reports that the Navy is prepared to intercept the Madeleine, stating that passengers will be detained and deported the same night. The incident comes amid international scrutiny over Israel's ongoing military campaign in Gaza, which began nearly 20 months ago following a deadly Hamas-led attack. The United Nations Human Rights Chief recently described the conditions in Gaza as presenting Palestinians with the grimmest of choices: die from starvation or risk being killed trying to access food.
Thank you for sticking with us. Now let's take a quick look at our headlines. Higher education, Kenyan National Union of Teachers call for teacher policy overhaul. In health, fast-spreading cholera outbreak hits war-torn Sudan. And in sports, Jordan, are you confident as Black Stars lead Group I in World Cup qualifiers? And in international, tensions rise as Israel blocked Gaza-bound aid boats with Greta Thunberg on board. And now, thank you for sticking with us on the AAU TV Mid-Week News. Get interactive with us on our dedicated social media platforms via Association of African Universities. My name is Maame, Ekua, Otuakoa, Nyame, and do have a lovely week.